Hello, and welcome to Urban Green, where we spotlight Southzone environmental efforts and showcase different ways to get involved in sustainable living practices. I'm your host, Stacey Ellifrit, and today we're coming to you from the beautiful Tacoma China's Reconciliation Park. This fall edition is starting off with the Urban Learning segment, where we're getting a first-hand look at electric vehicle ownership.
You've seen them driving around town and available at dealerships. With a wide range of vehicles now on the market at various price points, interest in electric vehicles, or EVs, is on the rise every year. Even with this increased interest, where to start with EV ownership can feel uncertain.
Just like any vehicle purchase, buying an EV is really going to be about what fits your lifestyle and budget. There's hatchbacks, there's sedans, there's even vans and SUVs on the market, and soon trucks are coming.
EVs tend to have more zip than traditional gas-powered vehicles. This is because of the high torque they offer, which quickly delivers power to the wheels when the car accelerates. Another aspect of EV ownership is charging.
As far as charging goes, most of a car's life is actually spent parked, so that's a great time to charge, and 80% of people still charge at home. All you need to do to get your home EV ready is have an outlet. And when you're out on the go, there's plenty of public charging out there you can find. Even DC fast chargers that can charge your car in up to 80% in under 30 minutes.
To help meet drivers' needs, a recent partnership increased the number of charging stations for EVs around the city.
Tacoma Power collaborated with Electrify America to identify good sites for both public and workplace electric vehicle charging. Workplace charging is really important because studies have found that people are 20 times more likely to adopt an EV if they have workplace charging available.
Here in Tacoma alone, over 70% of greenhouse gas emissions are from transportation. Tacoma Power provides clean and renewable hydroelectricity. Because of this, EVs charged in this service territory are incredibly clean, adding to their environmental benefits.
If you charge an electric vehicle here in our service territory, it only costs about 3 cents a mile to fuel that electric vehicle. And then what a lot of people don't realize is electric vehicles have about 1/10 of the moving parts of a traditional gas vehicle, which means there's just less stuff to break. And on top of that, there's no oil changes, there's no transmission, none of that to mess with. So the main things you have to worry about are flushing your brake fluid now and then, rotating the tires, and changing the brake pads every now and then.
Along with fuel and maintenance savings, financial incentives are also available that can help lower initial costs.
Here in Washington State, we do have a sales tax exemption on both new and used electric vehicles. And on top of that, there is still a federal tax credit available on the purchase of new electric vehicles.
Tacoma Power has tools to help make the decision to own an EV easier. Check out their website for the EV Savings Calculator, information on tax credits and exemptions, as well as a map to help find EV charging stations.
Electric vehicles are just really fun. Buying a car is still to a certain extent an emotional experience. We have to like the cars. So, if you don't like it, it's not going to be that exciting, but once you get behind the wheel of an EV and drive it, they're pretty exciting and fun.
To find out more on how an electric vehicle could fit your lifestyle, visit the Tacoma Power site. Up next, the Urban Tabletop segment will take us to the Swiss Restaurant and Pub, where we see how to make a fabulous for fall roasted beet salad.
Hello, my name is Bridget Seagrave. I'm the head chef and kitchen manager of the Swiss Restaurant and Pub, and today I'm going to make beet salad. I'm going to take a red onion, we're going to julienne it. When we're done with that, mix sugar, 1 cup of sugar, along with 1 bay leaf and 2 cups of red wine vinegar. And we're just gonna bring this up to a boil until it's dissolved. In fact, you don't even need to do that. You can actually, if you'd like to, you can actually just put your onions in it and let it sit overnight. If you boil it, it will actually pickle in about 2 hours. And then you'll end up with this, pickled onions. The color goes through it from the red onions. You can use a yellow onion, but it doesn't get a pretty color like this. we're going to candy some walnuts. We're going to boil down the walnuts with the sugar and the water just until it's thick. Kind of candied. When it looks like there's a little bit of water, there's no more water left. That's just the sugar. Take it and spread it out, and then it cools down to a nice candy coating. Another thing we're going to do for prep is we're going to top and tail beets. So we can roast them in the oven. You can also, if you don't want to roast them, you can boil them. But we at the Swiss, we actually make a lot of this, so we roast them. And all we do for that is place them in a pan along with water, and then we cover them in aluminum foil. And we roast them for about an hour, depending upon how big they are. When they're done, they look like this, and then they have the peel on them. What you can do is you can actually just take your fingers and peel it off, or you can use a paring knife. You want to wait till this is cooled down, so you definitely want to do this ahead of time. Next, we want to make the salad dressing. We're going to start off with some garlic. It's about a tablespoon and a half of garlic, half a teaspoon of kosher salt, 1 teaspoon of pepper, balsamic vinegar, and we want to pulse it. And then we want to make an emulsion, so we make a salad dressing. Making sure air gets into it. It becomes very creamy without using any dairy, which is very nice. And it doesn't need a lot of salt, which is very good. Salad dressing is done. It's nice, thick, and creamy. Now we're going to actually assemble the salad. Not too much because you don't want to drown it. It's very strong and powerful. We're going to add some of our beets in. Beets are very sweet. This salad is very earthy from the beets and very sweet from the beets. I'm going to take the salad, assemble it on the plate, place more beets on top, and then we are going to place some pickled red onion on it. And then you don't have to do this, but it really goes well with it. This is feta cheese. Goat cheese works very well with this as well. It complements the sweetness of the beets, gives it a nice briny flavor. And then you want to take some of the walnuts and place it on top for extra protein, and it's done. Beet salad. Thank you for watching. My name is Bridget Seagrave. I'm with the Swiss Restaurant and Pub. Come on down.
Come down to the Swiss Restaurant and Pub and enjoy a location that has something for everyone. After the break, we'll find out more about a local space that's working to foster a sewing community. But first, the Urban Quick Tip will help spruce up your home with a natural wood floor polish. Welcome back. Now, we're going to learn about a local makerspace that wants you to come sew with them and fall in love with your closet again.
On a bustling street in downtown Tacoma lives the Productivity Parlor for Artful Living, a creative textile makerspace brimming with possibilities.
A textile makerspace is much like any other makerspace, except our focus isn't on technology per se, but on textiles, fiber arts, knitting, crocheting, sewing, null binding, tablet weaving. If you don't know what those are, come talk to us. We'd love to tell you.
This space helps foster a sewing community by teaching skills that were once the norm and taught in schools, but have become less frequent with modern lifestyles.
With stitching, learning the basics, how to use a sewing machine. And once you learn how to use a sewing machine, how do you build something from scratch, especially if there's not a pattern for it. If it's just an anime character, how do you make that anime character a reality? And so what we do is pull people in, talk to them, meet them where they're at, and go from there.
I love it!
Yeah.
Projects big and small are welcome, including working with people to refresh or tailor their clothing as opposed to always buying new.
You have something that mostly works, but what do you do if you really want it to stand out for you, that really meets your style? That's what we do here. So we have some classes. Hems, buttons, and alterations is kind of our favorite one. People bring in items that they want to refresh or repair. This is a space where you can bring those in, ask for help or ideas.
The fixing or full-on repurposing of these garments is a big factor in keeping unwanted clothes out of the waste stream. This helps people think about what they wear and how it affects our environment.
Like with everything surrounding kind of environmentalism, right? It only takes a little bit of work to figure out how to shift that piece into something new. There's multiple ways, and what we really do in the classes that we teach is encourage people to think about how they can take what they have in their closet right now and make it something new and reflective of who they are.
Varying degrees of studio time are offered. Those who are interested are encouraged to reach out for more information.
You can come in and use our cutting tables, our equipment, sewing machines for a really modest fee. And if you don't need any of our help, it's really modest. If you need a little bit of our help, it's a little bit higher, it's $15 an hour. If you need us to stand by your side and walk you through a project, it's $20 an hour, which is really a modest amount of money to build something new and to get hands-on help.
The Productivity Parlor for Artful Living is a participant in the SpaceWorks Tacoma program, an initiative that works to launch creative businesses in the city of Tacoma.
This program encompasses so many aspects of creative life in Tacoma. They've been around for quite a while. We were really lucky to connect with them and really launch a Tacoma's first textile makerspace.
As the city's first space of this kind, it is easy to see the mix of passion and purpose that drives this creative business.
You absolutely can feel amazing in the clothes that you own. All it takes is a little bit of work. And you don't have to personally do the work. That's what we do. We're very good at that. But if you want to, we will absolutely teach you how to do this. So you can feel good about it every time you put on an outfit that reflects who you are.
To find out more about Productivity Parlor's services and available studio time, visit their site. Coming up next is the Urban How-To. This do-it-yourself segment gives a demonstration on getting out in the garden and planting shallots.
Hi, I'm Sass Ruthven, and I'm here at my urban farm in central Tacoma, Share the Wealth Organics. And we're here with EnviroHouse, and we are going to show you how to plant shallots for the fall. So prior to showing this demonstration, we emptied 2 wheelbarrowfuls of organic compost into the bed, and then also we put in 2 bags of organic chicken compost, and then basically just turn the soil. You're mixing the existing soil that had recently been planted in winter squash. So you're mixing in the new compost with your soil that's already there. So you do that 2 times so that everything's all mixed together evenly. And then just follow with your rake after. Make sure everything's raked out smooth. And it's ready to plant. So you can either buy seed shallots at a nursery. There's a couple of nurseries in Tacoma locally that sell them. They don't have them in yet, but they will have them in soon. Or if you have grown shallots before, you can save your own shallots to replant. And that's what we do here, just because it saves money and we're using enough shallot bulbs that it makes sense. So basically, when the shallots were harvested in July, at that point they were laid out on a table and cured for a few days, dried until the tops start drying. And then you can actually bundle them and hang them. So then these are ready to basically hang until planting or hang until use. You could, if you grow enough of your own that you want to cure them as well as eating them fresh, you can also do this just for eating. So we're going to use these today for replanting because these ones were designated as planting bulbs. So the spacing for shallots is 6 inches apart in a bed. And I religiously use my yardsticks because I want to get as much packed into a bed as possible. So we're going to start the first row in at 3 inches. And they're spaced every 6 inches after that. So basically I just set them on top of the soil first. And I start 3 inches in from the edge too. And I don't punch them under until I have them all laid out, basically, so you can see where you finished when you move over to the other side. So you're going your 6 inches apart. If I can talk and count at the same time. And then we'll go ahead and do what would be another row. So we're going to do that one at 9 inches, roughly. And start with your 3 inches in again, setting them out on top of the soil. So once you go through and fill the entire bed like this, you would plant the whole thing in a 4 by 10 foot bed. You can get 140 pods of shallots. The individual shallot will actually multiply into anywhere from 5, 6, 7, 8, up to 10 bulbs so it'll be a big grouping basically. Shallots are really slow to start growing in the fall, so if you can get them into the ground in September, it's better than October, but if you can't get it till October, it's still okay. But they do take a while for the green to appear. They're not like garlic, which shoots up really fast. So this is something that you don't cover with straw. Well, we cover garlic with straw after we get done planting, but the shallots don't, because if you do, it just increases the chance that they'll start rotting in the ground because they take so long to get going. So now I'm going to go ahead and just push these guys under. You basically push them under just until you can't see the top. So like when you brush over, there's no little nubbins showing there. So you would go through and push under your pods in the entire bed. And since we haven't had water in a while, at the end I would go ahead and give this bed a drink. We're going to get some rain, I think, soon, but we have had a really dry season, so. So once you get your whole bed done, you don't really need to rake because just smoothing with your hands is enough. And just give it a drink and it's good to go. It'll take at least probably a month before you see any green shoots coming up. September planting is definitely going to increase the speed of growth. Last year I didn't get these guys planted till closer towards the end of October, and some of them didn't even come up till after January, so then it was a really slow process. So that is about it for planting shallots.
These how-tos were created in partnership with the EnviroHouse Free Workshop Series, designed to support healthy, sustainable homes and gardens. For a full listing of workshops or to visit the EnviroHouse, check out the city site. Thanks for joining us for this edition of Urban Green. I'm Stacey Ellifrit, leaving you with more ways to engage in sustainable practices that are right for your lifestyle.